Certainly a topic that has to be addressed out there, that being the ever-impending start of a brand new CSGO League, Flashpoint Season 1, beginning this Friday. As of right now, we already have 7 founding teams, which might be the limit of a league that was going to announce 10 founding teams to pay in and supposedly be paid better even for their players and the organization as compared to ESL. Those original 10 founding teams, supposedly now just 7 who actually wanted to buy in. We talked about it last week. Envy will be the last group on that list of, some decent teams, I would say. None of us are going to lie to each other and say it's an astounding lineup compared to ESL. We already talked about of the top 30 teams currently in the world, 22 are in ESL. Just 4 are actually currently in Flashpoint. We have Envy, we got MIBR, Cloud9, Contact, Dignitas, Gen G, and Mad Lions will be our 7 founding teams. And as of right now, 2 qualified teams as well, one being Orgless, one being Big Clan. We have 3 teams yet to be announced to finalize Flashpoint League, which does begin in just 3 days' time, and that certainly has to be asked. Is anyone out there worried about this league? We look at the corresponding rankings, give or take a few spots here and there. I do believe we have the number 12 spot, number 15 spot, number 25, 26, 28, 42, and 51 ranking teams in the world. And again, I could be off by a few numbers there, but of those 7 teams I just mentioned that are founding teams, those are their corresponding rankings, none of which inside the top 10, only 2 inside the top 15, only a few inside the top 30. As compared to ESL, you got a heavy hitting lineup of teams that are signed long-term deals, and so it has to be asked, can Flashpoint survive? I certainly think it can. I'm not really too worried as of right now. I certainly have my underlying concerns, but the first thing that comes to mind when I think about this, it's a very, very small buy-in price for a potentially better payout model for these teams, which have obviously made a huge commitment to the league itself, and especially when you compare that to the Call of Duty League investment, $25+ million, plus at least 7 players salary, paying for benefits. It's a lot of money compared to what Flashpoint's going to be, and albeit, guys, compared to Call of Duty League viewership, I imagine Flashpoint will do pretty well compared to the minuscule buy-in price compared to the $25+ million for Call of Duty. So am I worried initially? Maybe a little bit. Am I worried long-term? Probably more so, as if this league can actually really survive compared to a heavy-hitting competitor in ESL. And also a quick intermission to the video, guys. I forgot to mention this, brought to us by Decay. It seems that Flashpoint is now actually inviting losing teams during the qualifiers to join the league. That being Havu alongside Chaos. If you guys missed this, they actually lost this past weekend during Flashpoint qualifiers, proving that apparently no one else, at least a top contender who can afford to join the league or pay into it, is simply not going to join. So they are now inviting teams who failed to qualify to just join the league anyway. It's not a good look. I have to imagine if this was reverse roles and ESL did this, that Thorn would jab away at it. So I feel the need to mention this. It's not a good look. So certainly, you guys know I love CSGO news. I'm going to be pushing the storylines, the drama, the banter, because that's what this league is promising. They're promising the more personal, kind of not necessarily combative, but as Thorn does put it, and Thorn is kind of iconic for, the banter between these teams, these organizations, and of course the talent will also be a bit more open and honest and out there and kind of on a whim of actually saying things that are different from what your typical broadcast and talent group might be saying. And I really hope they can push that. If they can, like we've seen in Call of Duty, if you guys watch our channel for that content, it's never ending, right? The back and forth between these players, between these teams certainly does drive the league, at least in my opinion. And so if Flashpoint can actually do that, and of course production quality does matter a lot as well, I think it's going to be very, very crucial early on to set this apart from ESL, and we will see how these two competitors do compete in terms of very different formats and very different teams. Is Flashpoint dead on arrival? Certainly not. Is it struggling on arrival? I think a lot of us could agree on that, and especially when you compare the teams, there really is no comparison as of right now. Very lastly, I think a thought on everyone's mind, especially we talked about the $100,000 per month charge or fine that could be applied to the teams who fall outside a certain ranking inside Flashpoint League. Like I said before, there are still only 2 current teams inside Flashpoint League that actually rank inside the top 20, so we'll see how those rules do apply once the league does begin. Are all of these organizations going to be fined $100K right off the bat because they're not good enough? Probably not. We'll see how that one works sometime soon. Until next time, hope you guys all enjoy CSGO Esports Gaming News. As per usual, my DMs are always open. Until next time, take care, drink your coffee, stay hydrated. Bye-bye.